Some people like A Few Good Men more than others, but I think everyone agrees that the climactic scene between Lieutenant Daniel Kaffee and Colonel Nathan R. Jessup is one of the greatest scenes ever. I could watch this scene over and over and never get tired of it. I am no soldier, lawyer, or any kind of hero. I am a simple man with a simple life. But I also have simple desires, and one of those desires is to live in a world without oppression, manipulation, or violence. That's why I love this scene. The movie deals with Kaffee, played by Tom Cruise, defending Lance Corporal Harold Dawson and Private First Class Loudon Downey, who have been charged with the murder of Private William Santiago. Dawson and Downey claim they were following orders. However, it is obviously hard to deal with Jessup since he has such a high position. And Kaffee, whose father was a very well-respected lawyer, has garnered a very lazy reputation, possibly from fear of failure. After all the events in the film, Kaffee and his partners Joanne Galloway and Sam Weinberg find themselves at a crossroads. They decide to put Jessup on the stand, running the risk of facing a court-martial for falsely accusing the colonel. At first, Kaffee goes into long detail using evidence of Santiago not packing for departure or calling anyone in spite of the fact that Jessup has ordered Santiago to be transferred off Guantanamo Bay. But when Kaffee asks Jessup to explain himself,
I'm an educated man, but I'm afraid I can't speak intelligently about the travel habits of William Santiago. Now, are these really the questions that I was called here to answer? These two Marines are on trial for their lives.
So at first, Kaffee feels he has hit a dead end. It is quite true that the evidence he has given was a gamble, and he was simply trying to scare Jessup into confessing. But Jessup is obviously unfazed, and he victoriously rises from the stand.
Thanks, Danny. I love Washington.
Excuse me. I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not through with my examination. Sit down.
Take this into consideration. Jessup is a man who has done horrible things that he believes is for the good of the country. His avoidance of facing consequences proves that he has developed an ego. So when it looks like he's humiliated the man prosecuting him into silence, only to then be ordered not to leave, Jessup is angered to find that his tactics have failed. With that, Kaffee asks Jessup if anybody on the base went against orders. To Jessup, this is the most ridiculous question conceivable.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple.
Jessup says this because he feels offended. Because Kaffee is in a lower ranking, Jessup believes the lawyer should be called out for supposedly disregarding the rules of those in power. And of course, because he let his irritation get the best of him.
If you gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, and your orders are always followed, then why would Santiago be in danger? Why would it be necessary to transfer him off the base?
And as Jessup tries to make excuses, Kaffee continues to use the colonel's own statements against him, forcing the man into a corner.
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands.
No, sir. You made it clear just a moment ago that your men never take matters in their own hands. Your men follow orders or people die.
But Jessup refuses to say anything. And then Kaffee explodes.
Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Object!
And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose! Your Honor, you had markers inside a phony transport! Your Honor, you...
And as Jessup watches what he considers a small little man berating a hero of the country as he believes himself to be, he knows that Kaffee will not be broken even in the face of a court-martial. Even if Jessup gets off scot-free, he is lost. So before going out, he will launch a verbal attack on his opposer.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You know what he's gonna say. You all know. I'm not gonna play it. It's one of the most memorable quotes of all time. Not because it's a heroic statement, it's anything but. It's because it sums up the beliefs of all the manipulative, delusional, and unconscionable people in power. They believe that they can do whatever they want, and if people knew what they did, It would make things worse.
You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
According to Jessup, only those who are capable of murder should be in power, for lack of action can lead to even more death. And because Caffey survives, he should be grateful to Jessup.
I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it.
But the two men stand strong in their opposing positions. So without trying to argue, Caffey asks the question again.
Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
And even though Jessup admitted to committing a crime, he believes the judge should let him slide. That's how full of himself he is.
All you did was weaken a country today, Caffey. That's all you did. You put people's lives in danger. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I'm a lawyer and an officer in the United States Navy. And you're under arrest, you son of a bitch.
That's the other thing. Caffey doesn't care what Jessup thinks. If the colonel believes people should be killed to save more people, the lawyer can't change his mind. But the colonel's words are poison, nothing more. They are manipulative tactics used to mentally enslave the people into doing as they are told. But if we are going to be enslaved either way, we may as well stand up for what we believe is right, even if the pain inflicted on us gets worse. Because the worst kind of pain is complacency, disappointment in ourselves, which is what Caffey felt right at the beginning. I say again, I am no soldier, lawyer, or hero. I am a simple man with a simple life and simple desires. And what I desire is for everyone watching to do one thing. Ask yourself, how does ruining lives save lives? What if the individual who was killed to save lives was a good friend, a source of emotional healing to a great many people? Isn't the point of life to be happy? It may not be possible to be happy all the time, but why does there need to be such violence and mayhem to strike fear into people so they can fall in line? It damages people psychologically. And when people are damaged psychologically, it's short-term gain, long-term loss. They'll either come to their senses or lose all sense whatsoever. Your actions are grotesque and incomprehensible. That's the truth. And we can handle it. Just not the way you want us to.